Vernon family started out as slave catchers. Now we own more private prisons than any other company in the US of A. You know, I bet A-Train here would have given my great-great-granddaddy a run for his money.
Oh?
Huh? But we would have caught you.
Alrighty, welcome back everybody to another video about why it sucks, and for today's video we are going to talk about the disappointing 4th season of Amazon Prime's TV show, The Boys. Now I was originally going to put this video off for a while, mainly because I just love The Boys. The last 3 seasons were really good, but this one was kind of a miss. But so far till episode 7, this season has been really bad. It sucks to the point where episode 8 is not going to save this season for me. Now there's a lot to uncover here, so let's just start from the top, and what better way to start off the video than to talk about this show's character work and filler episodes. You'll see in a bit why these two go hand in hand. Starting off with Frenchie, this motherfucker isn't even the same person that we used to know in the past 2 seasons. For whatever reason, Frenchie's character arc revolves around him falling in love with the guy and ignoring Kimiko. See, and the thing is too, for whatever reason, people are weirded out that Frenchie is having sex with a dude, even though he's been playing for both teams since the 1st season. And meanwhile that's happening, we have bad acting.
If you come near me again, I'll fucking kill you.
Oh, he's fake crying. Could you tell he's crying with those fake tears? Anyways, I really wouldn't mind this, but I will spoil that this is the only bit of character arc that you will see from Frenchie in this season. I mean, that plus he sends himself to jail.
Committed murders. Plural.
I don't know why I did that. Butcher, on the other hand, I personally think he should have died in the last season, if I'm being honest. His character arc and that hypocritical question on whether it's okay if the boys should take temporary Compound V is now over. And the only thing he does this season is become a liability. Also, Butcher takes Compound V off screen and doesn't get powers. What the fuck, you don't think that was important to tell the audience? Oh, but real quick, I have to show you this funny bit for you. Kimiko gets the virus that kills Soups by attacking the Compound V in their system. Yeah, for real. But then Kimiko gets the virus injected into her leg, and then her leg gets cut off. But then in the next scene, she's completely fine. I know she regrows parts and doesn't feel pain, but when you see this part, it's truly hilarious. Anyways, Butcher spends the whole season hallucinating Negan from The Walking Dead.
What the fuck's that supposed to mean? You're me.
Yeah, I know. And he also has a tapeworm, and he looks awful every time he's on screen. Homelander is whatever, I guess. He has like 1 good episode, and then he spends the whole season trying to figure out who the leak is. But wait, there's a plot twist. It's actually A-Train. Now I'll get to A-Train's character arc here in a bit, but once Homelander finds out who the leak is, this is how he reacts.
A-Train? How could he do this to me?
Okay, so Homelander's sad and he cries out, how could A-Train do this to me? Yeah, whatever. Even though Homelander has treated A-Train like this.
Nothing?
What did you say to me?
I'm sorry. Shit. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean it.
Now I understand that Homelander's character arc and Soldier Boy's character arc are kind of hand in hand, like they're pretty much the same story, just told in a different time with different circumstances. But it just baffles me like how delusional he truly is when he thinks he's being nice to people, or how he somehow surprised whenever people betray him. So Homelander is upset at A-Train for being the leak, even though he treats everyone like shit. And then he finally has a character arc and decides he's gonna save America and he's gonna make America great again. And I'll get to this part later because it'll make more sense later. But I'll spoil something for you again. Homelander does not in fact try to make America great again. He says this to the audience because this season has a really bad time with conveying information without relying on directly telling the audience what's going on or what's going to happen. This show used to be really subtle with its storytelling, everything, but here all forms of subtlety are just thrown out the fucking window. I used to be one of those people that at one point would think Anthony Starr would possibly win an Emmy for his portrayal of Homelander, at the very least an honorable mention, but that hope kind of goes away the further you get in the season. Anyways, The Deep is probably the best example of filler character arc that I can show you. He spends the whole season, like season 3, just talking to his octopus lady wife, whatever, but that doesn't matter because he kills her this season. And yeah, I understand The Deep is meant to be laughed at. I don't hate him, I just really don't want there to be such a huge abundance of an already filler season and then you show us more filler with The Deep, if that makes sense. Then the writers finally remember he's part of the main cast, so then him and Noir go and try to kill Starlight and Butcher. And yes, action choreography has never been this show's strong suit, I've known that, but it's slightly better in this season. But saying it's a slight upgrade in this season even though it was already horrible is like saying Twitter is better than Reddit. And yeah, The Deep literally does nothing the whole season, and he has probably the worst line delivery out of any one of these actors.
God, I'm going to enjoy this so much. First you try to cancel me, victimize an innocent man, because I guess that's just cool to do to white guys nowadays.
And yeah, Noir died in the last season, but he's back. But it's not the same person that has always been under that mask. And to be fair, I really don't mind him because he's fucking hilarious.
Wait, you're the Leak?
Did he just talk?
Mother's Milk is now the leader of the boys until he starts breaking out in hives due to the stress of handling the team. Then he stops being the leader. Huey has probably the most emotionally impactful scene out of any one of these characters. I honestly don't have anything to say about him other than he gets sexually tortured. And don't even get me started on Starlight. See, the thing about Starlight is you can probably guess what I'm about to say. Can you guess what I'm about to say? This bitch had the balls to fight The Deep and Noir, two motherfuckers who have super strength but can't manage to break the chain that is holding her to the ground. Oh yeah, and Erin Moriarty now looks like this. This is not a character arc her character went through in the show. This is what she looks like in real life now. Yep. Also, if you have seen a single meme about the boys, you can bet your ass that they're making fun of Erin Moriarty's face. I'll take a guess that 7 out of 10 of those memes were about Starlight's face. Also, look how the show goes the extra route to show her what she used to look like. That's cold, man. Now here's one of the most head-ass takes, but I kind of feel like Starlight's or Erin's plastic surgery is fake, and the reason I feel that way is because you'll realize in every episode it looks different. Now granted, I've never had plastic surgery, maybe it looks different every day, I'm not sure, but this show does make fun of real life shitty behavior by making a parody of it while also telling their own story. So this very well could just be the show giving Erin fake implants that she could just take off. And people can say, oh well, she looks like that in real life too, but there have been celebrities that have fake plastic surgery before, so I can see this being a similar case. Yes, it's a weird thing to fake, but in the case of the boys, it really doesn't seem so outlandish. Now, A-Train and Ryan are by far the only hopeful character arcs that this show has to offer. See, A-Train is reminded one time that his saves were never real, and he never actually saved anybody. Then, he does this. And now A-Train is a good guy and Ryan is fed up with the bullshit of being a fake superhero. He did one publicity stunt and that's all it took, and now he actually wants to be a real hero. Now Sister Sage and Firecracker I really don't care about, but these two are not expanded on in this season, so I don't fucking care. But meanwhile, I was telling you this, you may have realized like, hey, some of these character arcs and shit sound like they're getting pretty repetitive and like they're just filling time. This season is a horrible follow-up to probably its best season yet, and they had a spin-off that really just went nowhere. But the season didn't really lose its magic, it just lost its sense of direction that it used to have. The Boys used to be a bit on the nose with its satire and jokes, but here they are not. Now here they're becoming just like the things that they're making parodies of. You could have just introduced the virus that kills Soups in this season, not in Gen V, and it would not have made a difference whatsoever. And the show made it very ominous that you had to watch Gen V to understand season 4 and let it hands off to season 4. And I'm gonna spoil something to you, you did not need to watch Gen V to understand season 4. It made literally zero difference on how I perceive season 4 of The Boys. And if you thought the superhero inconsistencies were bad before, now they are just diabolical. See, in the very first episode, we get a whole episode on how the Boys are trying to kill Translucent, and that is some great writing because it feels like they have a bomb in the middle of the room, meanwhile Homelander is searching for them, and then they eventually figure out how to kill Translucent. But that clever writing and tension is rarely ever present after this episode, because most of the time there really isn't a whole lot of tension present in this show. Most of the time in previous episodes, all it took was just a bullet to the head to kill a superhero, but them having to go out of their way to be ingenuitive with their killings just never happens again. Take Miss Victoria Newman or Nadia as an example. See, she has the power to pop people's heads, but also super strength.
Or plan B.
How's it you guys are actually getting worse at your jobs?
The Deep can talk to fish and also has super strength, and Sister Sage can be shot in the head and be fine after.
What happened to you?
I think the biggest reason why there isn't really any tension present is because just the way how the show handles these superheroes. I think the biggest issue this show has is conveying the extensibility of these Soup's powers to the audience. Most of the time in season 1, I was just looking up what the Soup's powers were, and because of this, a lot of the tension is removed because I never know if they actually are in danger or if a bullet to the head would just be the answer to their solution. So whenever the virus is introduced, this made me a bit skeptical because it feels kind of lazy, but I am glad that this show does clarify that if you want to kill Homelander, it'll kill every Soup out there. That includes Starlight, A-Train, Kimiko, and probably Butcher. People who have tried using their powers for good, so if they want to kill the big man, they need to kill them all. I really do like that this is what's at stake because I was kind of afraid that this was edging the territory to be like some sort of kryptonite that will only work on Homelander. Now this segment is by far the biggest reason people had a tough time with this season, and that's the show's politics. See, Eric Kripke, who's been a writer for The Boys, says that he doesn't think he made the show more political. See, in the last 3 seasons we had The Boys try to kill Homelander, and that is not really the case here because The Boys don't even learn about the virus until halfway throughout the season. Let's start off with Starlight. See, quite a bit of things happen off screen, like Starlight getting an abortion, and I'm guessing it was Huey's kid, but that doesn't really matter. But what does matter is Sister Sage learns about this, and she goes ahead and tells Firecracker, who tells the whole world that she had an abortion. This justifiably angers Annie, or Starlight if you prefer that, and then Starlight gives Firecracker the Omni-Man special. Meanwhile that's happening, Annie has been having performance issues with her powers due to mental breakdowns and whatnot. Meanwhile we have Homelander with his Make America Great Again propaganda, and I already explained why this doesn't work because he spends the whole season just plucking his pubes and searching for the leak. We also have Starlighters, people who support Starlight's ideology. I don't know, I don't watch the news. Facing off against the left, the leftists, the lefties. I'm not making fun of you on whether you're a liberal or conservative, whether you're a right or left. I could care less on whether you wear a left or right-handed baseball glove. glove. But you can understand with things like the left and right, abortion, whether it's okay to be gay, and the Make America Great Again propaganda. It just goes to show how the show is literally going head first into politics. It really just feels like the show is just trying to tell us on who's right and who's wrong. The producers are also trying to remind us on real life shitty behavior that we the audience are trying to escape. No one watched The Boys and hoped to be reminded about the political agenda that's happening in real life. I would also like to remind you that Eric Kripke did say that they didn't feel like they made this season more political, and then they go ahead and make a season like this. At times it really just feels like this show is pushing their own agenda rather than trying to tell a cohesive narrative, and because of that I'm going to give this season a disastrous 5 out of 10. It's not bad, it just lost its sense of direction. I really didn't expect more from the show because it was being made during the writer's strike and whatnot, but I think this season would have been way better if they just simply found out about the virus in the first episode than Homelander, which, believe it or not, him plucking his pubes actually shows that he's running out of time. So if he tried to round up superheroes to, you know, make America great again from the first episode, I think that would have been great. I honestly would not have minded that because it would have set the plot in motion from the very start. Oh yeah, if I forgot to mention, Homelander is rounding up superheroes to form an army of some kind, and that's why there was a lot of superheroes entering and exiting the Vought Tower. Like I said, I think that would be really cool because the boys or the normal humans or just humanity have something at risk. The Supes might actually just kill all of them, but unfortunately we don't get to see that because Homelander can literally barge into the White House and off him if he wanted to. Really the only redeeming factors of this season are A-Train, Ryan, Noir, and Huey, but the main reason the show failed is because it feels like this season was pushing their own political agenda, and because of that it forces the audience to feel like we're being lectured rather than entertained. Also, isn't it strange that the president of the United States got hit markered a few days ago and the last episode of the season is called Assassination Run? Seems a bit strange, right? Firecracker, you got anything to add?
You know that these quote-unquote vaccines that they're giving out at the Starlight House actually cause autism, and not that cool Rain Man autism makes you good at counting cards and shit.
Alright, never mind.
You gotta accept it.